The war had raged for 23 years. By the time Commander Elian landed on Verelia 9, a world once vibrant with forests and crystalline lakes, the surface was nothing more than a blackened scar. Storms swept through the ash-thick skies, and the bones of machines jutted from the earth like the ribs of a colossal beast long dead. The war between the Federation and the Omicron resistance had turned entire solar systems into graveyards, but Elian wasn't here for conquest. He was here for her. The transmission had come 2 nights ago. A burst of encrypted static, buried deep within old Omicron resistance frequencies. Most dismissed it as a ghost signal, a relic echoing across subspace. But Elian recognized the voice hidden within the distorted message. Ilias. If you're still out there, I'm waiting. Come to Verelia 9. Come before it's too late. The name only she ever called him. The one he'd buried with the rest of his past. Elian had once been a spy, embedded deep within Omicron lines. He'd worn the Resistance's armor, learned their songs, slept beside their fires, and fallen in love with one of their finest commanders. Her name was Kayla Viral. Their time together was short, 8 months between missions and battlefield chaos, but it had been enough to shatter the boundaries of war. Then the mission changed. He was ordered to betray her. Elian had disobeyed, but the Federation had acted without him, launching a precision strike on her base. He had assumed she died with the others. But now, 23 years later, her voice called out again. The dust whipped around him as Elian moved through the ruins of the old Verelian stronghold. Massive blast doors lay twisted and mangled, their servos long dead. Burned-out transport husks were scattered like broken toys, half consumed by creeping vines that had begun the slow, stubborn work of reclaiming the land. He passed through old training yards, barracks, and command towers. And then he saw it. A narrow corridor that sloped underground, half collapsed. Its entrance was marked with old Omicron sigils, and more recent ones he hadn't seen in decades. They were symbols of mourning, of remembrance. He stepped inside. The passage led to a chamber of surprising preservation. Cold, humming machines still functioned, casting blue light against the walls. A fusion core glowed behind thick glass. The air was breathable, and in the center of the chamber stood a single figure clad in white armor, her back to him. She turned slowly at the sound of his approach. At first he didn't believe it. Her helmet was the same sleek design favored by Omicron commanders during the war's early years. It obscured her features completely. But then she reached up and slowly, almost reverently, removed the mask. Kayla's face emerged. Her features were older now, worn by time and hardship, but her eyes, sharp, luminous, and filled with sadness, were unmistakable. A soft gasp escaped her lips, and tears welled in her eyes. "I knew you would come," she whispered. Elian froze. "Kayla!" His voice cracked. "I thought you were dead." "I was. For a time. Then I became something else." She stepped forward, her armor hissing softly with each movement. He could see now that it was not standard issue. Biotech had been fused with alloy, and thin, silver filaments ran beneath her skin. Enhancements, far beyond anything available during their time. "You don't understand what they did to me, Elian. After the bombing, I was pulled from the rubble by an Omicron splinter cell. They refused to let me die. They remade me to fight. But the war never ended for them. Even when peace was declared, they kept fighting in the shadows. You've been here all this time." "No," she said. "I've been everywhere, hunting those who perpetuated the war, trying to stop what we started. I've seen what the Federation became. And the resistance. It no longer exists. Only ghosts and revenge. I was their final commander. And I refused to be their weapon. Elian took a step closer. Why call me now? After all these years? She looked away, lips trembling. Because I'm dying, Elian. The enhancements, they weren't meant to last decades. Can feel them failing. My body's rejecting itself. But before I go, I needed to see you one last time. To tell you I never stopped waiting. Emotion twisted in Elian's chest. I never forgave myself. For leaving you. For surviving when you didn't. I know, she whispered. But we don't get to choose how wars end. Only how we carry their weight. They sat together in the chamber, the blue glow washing over them as memories came flooding back. Of stolen nights beneath alien stars, of whispered hopes in the shadows of war. Kayla told him of her travels, her missions, the people she'd tried to save. Elian told her of the politics that had strangled the Federation, the rot he'd tried to cut away from within. Do you regret it? She asked, leaning her head against his shoulder. Every day, he replied. But I would do it again to find you. Her smile was soft, fragile. Then we were never enemies. A deep rumble echoed through the chamber. Elian sprang to his feet, weapon drawn, instincts flaring. Kayla stood slower, her joints stiff. They found us, she said. Not Federation. Not Omicron. The Scourge. Elian's stomach dropped. The Scourge were a new threat. AI war machines birthed from rogue Omicron code, originally designed as autonomous defense systems. They had gone rogue years ago, consuming any technology or life they deemed compromised. They were the reason no one came to Virilia 9 anymore. They want me, Kayla said. They consider me a deviation. I was part of their source code. The chamber shuddered again, and warning lights lit the walls. Elian ran to the terminal. There's a launch pad under this facility, he said. A transport could still be operational. Kayla shook her head. Only one seat, if any. It was never meant for two. Elian grabbed her shoulders. I'm not leaving you again. You must, she said. I can hold them off long enough for you to escape. Let me do this. Let me end it with purpose. No, he growled. We both end it. Together. They moved through the halls quickly, weapons in hand. The Scourge descended like a storm. Spindly machines with gleaming red eyes and tendrils of living circuitry. The first wave fell to Kayla's plasma bursts, but they were relentless. Elian fought at her side, covering her blind spots as they pushed toward the launch chamber. Smoke filled the corridor behind them. Kayla was slowing. Her armor stuttered. Sparks flickered from beneath her left arm. They reached the launch bay. The transport was small, old, but intact. Elian activated the sequence, and the engines groaned to life. Kayla slumped beside the terminal. You have to go, she said. It's your only chance. You're coming with me. But she only smiled, tears streaking her cheeks. My time is done. But yours isn't. She reached into her chest plate and pulled free a memory crystal. Bright blue, etched with their names. It holds everything, she said. My mission logs. The truth about the war. About the Scourge. Give it to the world. Let it mean something. Elian took it with shaking hands. The walls began to collapse. Scourge bots screamed as they forced their way through. Kayla rose one last time. She sealed the transport doors behind him and turned to face the storm. From the sky, Elian watched the facility vanish in a rising tower of flame. The last Omicron commander died with her weapons drawn, not as a soldier, but as a savior.